morning. Welcome to 49ers in 5, your daily update on everything happening with the team that you need to know. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. Today is Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. Here's what's happening with your San Francisco 49ers. As always, we begin every show with the injury report. Unfortunately, Kyle Shanahan had his conference call very early in the day yesterday, so we didn't have any real updates on the injuries from the game. If you forgot what they were, Ambry Thomas has a knee issue, Brandon Ayuk has a shoulder issue, and Diamador Lenore is in the concussion protocol. He had to pass one more test to get out of the concussion protocol. Again, we don't have an update on any of those from Kyle Shanahan, but we do have an interesting update from the Giants, and it has to do with Saquon Barkley. He had tests. He left the game on Sunday, and he was injured. It was an ankle. It looked ugly, but it's a regular ankle sprain for Saquon Barkley, which is good news for the Giants, not the high ankle sprain, but for our purposes, Barkley is not going to play on Thursday. He's probably going to miss about 3 weeks. So that is unfortunate news for the Giants. I don't want anybody hurt, so I don't want to say it's good news for the 49ers, but Saquon not being there is helpful because he's one of the Giants' best players. Now, to the audio portion of the show, I mentioned Kyle Shanahan's conference call. First up, Kyle, Christian McCaffrey played 100% of the snaps for the 49ers on Sunday. Don't you have to get that guy rest once in a while?
We definitely got to get Elijah in there more and do better with our rotation than we did yesterday. That wasn't the plan going in. It just ended up that way, and I got to make sure that doesn't happen.
Just to follow up on that, is that the assistant coaches who are responsible for the substitutions, or are you involved in that as well?
No, usually, calling plays, you're not. I mean, you can ask for guys specifically on certain plays as a play caller, but no, you're not keeping guys fresh and rotating and doing stuff like that. Position coaches do that, but I also, for him not to get in, I definitely should have noticed and asked for him.
We all know Elijah Mitchell's had injury problems, but man, you got to at least let him play a little bit. But I did like that Kyle didn't pass the buck there, right? He didn't say, well, it's the position coach's job. He said, I should have known. I should have asked for Elijah Mitchell. Good on Kyle. And I think with the short game coming up on Thursday, I think you're going to see a lot more Elijah Mitchell. And that just makes sense. And clearly it's on Kyle Shanahan's mind, so he's aware of it. Moving on now. Looking ahead on the schedule, Giants, Cardinals, a lot of people think the 49ers could be 4-0 on the year. Kyle, do you have to sort of guard against that type of thinking?
We would if all our guys talked to you, but hopefully they're not. Hopefully they look at the tape and see how good teams are each and every week. We thought Pittsburgh was going to be a battle. I know that didn't go the exact way we expected, and we believe going into this game, it was the Rams was going to come down to the last possession, and I see no different this Thursday night. So I don't feel our team feels that way at all.
I actually think the 49ers may have taken the Rams a little lightly coming into the game. At least maybe some of the players on defense did. Now they've had a little bit of a wake-up call, so hopefully they just handle their business on Thursday night, and the Niners could have 3 wins in the season's first 15 days. One more from Kyle Shanahan now, and this question came from our old friend Kyle Posey, who asked Kyle a simple question, but I thought a good one. What do you do in the off season to make yourself a better coach?
Usually in the off season, we always try to review our tape. We review things from around the league to see what to add, see what fits in. Spend a lot of the off season trying to study personnel to add in the draft or personnel to add in free agency. Those are the biggest parts, as a coach that you try to do to make your team better, is to try to help out and see who you can add to it to make it better. Sometimes those are real tough decisions that we all spend a lot of time working on. And then my biggest thing is trying to relax a little bit more in the off season, because I've learned how long of a grind the season is and how long it goes and how much you got to get up for each week. And I really try to get mentally stronger with books and some self-help type things. So when you go into the season, you're ready to go.
That last part is really interesting to me. Strengthening himself mentally. Kyle does seem to get tight in big games at times. Maybe this is something he's working on. Maybe he just generally threw out like a platitude because he didn't know what else to say to the question. But we have seen Kyle Shanahan look a little freer. Is that the word I want to say this year? Maybe it is some of the mental work in the offseason. Who knows? But whatever it is, it's working, Kyle. So keep it up. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Tuesday, Matt Barrows has a great column in The Athletic called 49ers Minutia Minute, and he has a ton of nuggets and statistical information in there for you from the Week 2 game, including something the defense did on Sunday that they haven't done since 2021. One thing to watch, according to Tom Pelissero, former first-round pick Bradley Roby is visiting the Niners, or visited the Niners, I should say. Roby is a 9-year NFL vet who most recently played with the Saints in 2022. He's a corner. He has experience in the nickel and on the outside. He's played with Denver, Houston, and New Orleans in his career. Clearly, the Niners recognize there's an issue at nickel corner. They were in nickel for all but 2 snaps on Sunday. Clearly, other teams realize there's an issue at corner. One thing you may have missed, because of the short week this week, the Niners are having one media availability. So Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy, and Steve Wilks will all speak on Wednesday, and you know what that means. Thursday's 49ers in 5 is going to be lit. That's a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network. Please, please, please leave us a 5-star rating and a review on Apple Pods. It's one of the best things you can do to support the show. It helps us get up the charts. It helps new people find us, and that is how we grow, and that is how we keep this thing rolling. So if you can, please do. Stay tuned for the Bully Ball podcast with Steph Sanchez and Jason Aponte. That's coming at you live on YouTube early, 7 a.m. Pacific time. I know it's early. If you're not awake, don't worry. It'll be there waiting for you. But if you are up early, throw it on. Have it on in the background when you're getting ready for your day, whatever the case may be. Please join us. We love, love, love interacting with you. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. We'll talk later today.